La leyenda oscura que se ha creado a nuestro alrededor se debe principalmente a la ignorancia.
Cuidado, Pedrito. Se están quemando. Cuidado, Pedrito. Se están quemando. Cuidado, se están quemando.
María.
I'm going to go on and assume you're not familiar with the colony known as Dignidad down in the region of Chile under the Pinochet dictatorship. It was a German-based religious cult responsible for uncounted atrocities and murders. So this film, The Wolf House, is about death. Or more specifically, it is about an allegory about the horrors of indoctrination and propaganda. This film has a unique conceit and execution in the sense that it is introduced by an old-fashioned tape, an openly propagandistic tape, in which the colony essentially is trying to dispel unsavory rumors about itself, and it does so by introducing what the actual film is. And the film itself is, in fact, ultimately presented as a propaganda film for the cult. And this is where it gets disturbing and weirdly horrifying from start to finish. The Wolf House is a stop-motion animated film, but not in a traditional, marketable sense. It features a combination of papier-mâché characters and wall paintings, all painstakingly made and unmade before our very eyes. The entire house of the film is constantly changing and interchanging in between paints and paper, coming to life and dying constantly before our very eyes as a transition occurs. The very house itself comes alive with death. The quote-unquote narrative, the facetious narrative of this propaganda film is that a girl escapes from the colony and in her mind she views the colony as the big bad wolf from the Three Little Pigs story. And the pigs from the story in question, in her mind they become human, as in slowly transform into human beings, and then they try to eat her as soon as the food runs out. And by then, the wolf itself that she was afraid of becomes the hero and saves her and brings her back to the colony. This is what I meant when I said that this was presented as a propaganda film for the colony. And in a sense, it works as a deconstruction of the truly horrific nature of propaganda filmmaking. It's constantly, aggressively attacking your very senses with truly disturbing, disfigured imagery that represents the mind, symbolizes the mind of a person struggling between the indoctrination itself and her own free will, ultimately surrendering to the will of the colony, of the cult, because she's seemingly unable to fend for herself, which again, it's the whole point of a propaganda film. This is a meta-propaganda film, in case I didn't make myself clearer already. It denounces and deconstructs the very idea of a propaganda film by illustrating how truly alien and disturbing and sensory depriving this sort of indoctrination, religious or otherwise, really truly can get. It limits your senses, it warps your sense of reality, and in the end, it makes you believe that the big bad wolf that's persecuting you, oppressing you, is ultimately the good guy. So there is a bit of Stockholm syndrome in there too. Indoctrination is all about abuse, oppression, making you feel insignificant, making you feel you are in the need to be helped by what is essentially the villain of the fable, the wolf. And in that sense, this film is a masterclass, a masterpiece in doing what it sets out to do. It is jarring and disquieting and unsettling, and it accomplishes everything it needed to accomplish. This is a seriously difficult film to sit through for all the reasons I've accounted. But it's an important one, no less, not just because it covers a little-known bit of history of a country that we might not be familiar with, but because it essentially becomes a truly enraged commentary about the very idea of, again, indoctrination, of intruding one's thoughts to muddle their individuality and destroy their sense of self-identity. It's truly something horrific to behold and to think about it. But that's how cults operate. That's how everything operates, scarily enough. Okay, well, that was The Wolf House. It's truly horrifying in ways Darren Aronofsky's mother would wish it could be.